Okay, M91. M91 gives us a list of items and asks us to classify those items based upon their nature and cost allocation. The first one up is property. Property is considered land. Land is not depreciated. It's seen as to have a continuous life, right? That we cannot use it up. It's seen as continuous, therefore we do not depreciate it, okay? Two indicates delivery vans. Delivery vans would be considered equipment. Equipment is depreciated. We use depreciation expense. Journal entry, debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation, right? That's equipment. Three is considered warehouse. That would be building. Building is also depreciated. And notice this brings up a good point for us to talk about. You have land, equipment, and building. This can be synonymous with property, plant, and equipment. So building synonymous with plant, property synonymous with land. You might see this referred to on the balance sheet as PP&E, or property, plant, and equipment. That's usually the common line item that you have for fixed assets listed out on the balance sheet. So just understand what those terms mean. Four says trademark. Trademark is an intangible asset, but no, we do not amortize it. Now we're talking about amortization when we talk about intangible assets. We're not even considering depreciation expense because we amortize intangible assets, but not indefinite life intangible assets, one that have a continuous life again. Instead, we test those for impairment. Let's go on to the next one. New engine. New engine would be considered equipment. Again, we talked that equipment is depreciated. Six says franchise. Franchise is considered an intangible asset, but one that has a finite life. So we amortize it, right? We amortize this one, recognizing similar to that of depreciation expense, except that we debit amortization expense and we credit instead the actual intangible asset. Now there are accounting systems that use accumulated amortization, but it's not as common as directly crediting the actual asset. Go on to 7. 7 is software license. Software license is another intangible asset that we would amortize. 8 is computers. Computers would be considered equipment that we would depreciate. And the last one, production plant. Production plant would be considered a building, and we would also depreciate that. Okay? These are listed out in your books, the definitions of each one of the items. That wasn't necessarily the direction of the problem to define these items, but if you're interested in what each of them mean, if you want more information about that, they have them all listed out in your books. You guys can read those actual definitions of each one of these we have listed out. Just remember though, in terms of accounting when you're recording, remember when you depreciate items, remember when you amortize items, or when you don't amortize and don't depreciate, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know of M91.